Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Radio On Demand podcast. Love you. 5FM's Early Morning Show. My name is James Raby. We got schools delayed today. There is one closed school. Plainview, Elgin, Millville schools have closed for today. But everyone else, Blooming Prairie, Byron, Grand Meadow, Hayfield, Kenyon, Wanamingo, 2 hours late today. So there's a bunch of that happening on the Y105 FM app. You could just look at the app and go, oh, there's all it is. Thank you very much for the convenience, Y105 FM, and you're welcome. So am I the jerkhead crap face for refusing to take in a foster child? You just got to tell me what you think about this. You can call 507-292-1053. She says, my husband, 44 male, and I, 43-year-old female, have 2 kids. Both left for college, and one is in law school now. So we're empty nesters, and I love it. I get to go wherever, whenever. Right now, I'm skiing a lot, and we take lots of vacations. I'm planning on retiring in a few years. We invested smartly, and now our home is paid off, and my kids are getting a full ride in school. We can retire without much money, without much worry, although we still work until the economy is better and our bodies allow us to. Want to work until you can't? That's cool. Problem is, my husband is now bored and wants to foster a child. Oh, you smell the trouble coming, don't you? I am absolutely against the idea. My cousin did foster a child for 3 years. She's infertile and decided she wanted to see... wanted to foster as a way to have a child in her life. But that child was a complete nightmare and almost made her and her husband divorce over it because it caused so many issues. I know not all foster children are like that, but my cousin is far more compassionate. She's a nurse than I am, and she's always was always crying to me and my sister every day about it, and I don't want to do it. It's hard to tell what a child has gone through, and it's usually nothing good if they need to be fostered. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. I suppose there's lots of troubles there, right? I don't have the energy to deal with it anymore. I raised my son and my daughter, and unless they need me, I'm going to finish my last years at work and retire and enjoy my quiet years. My husband constantly badgers me to reconsider, and I've told him I'm not going to. He argues it'll be like having a child again. And I told him that's exactly what I don't want. I told him to find a volunteer position at school or go down to the children's wing of his hospital. He's a doctor if he wants to spend time with children. That's actually not a bad idea, you know? He also, whether or not you have kids, he also works outside the home while I have a hybrid job, 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. So I feel like any foster child will just become my responsibility. But he's constantly complaining that I'm not being compassionate and we could change a child's life for the better. But I know it'll probably change my life for the worse. I'm curious what other people think. So am I the jerkhead crap face for refusing to sign up to be a foster? Everyone on the Y105 FM Facebook page says, no, you're not the jerkhead crap face. It is a big responsibility. And if the couple's not there on it together, then it shouldn't happen. Jenny said, not the jerkhead crap face. Also, was your husband a, quote, fun dad, close quote, who basically got to be the cool guy while you did all the work actually raising the kids? Because children are work, and only a dad who only ever, quote, babysat, close quote, could act like having the responsibility to care for a child again 20 years later would be no big deal and a fun adventure. That right there, that right there. That's it. If I could display a giant pointing finger on air, I would be showing you a gigantic Empire State Building sized finger pointing at that. 100%. It is, and it's a wonderful job. And the mom's done it. You get these, you create these humans, your own people, and it's a wonderful thing. But then you've done it, and she doesn't want to take it on. What do you think? I think she's absolutely in the right. If she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to. And I think she's also right that she'll be the one doing it all. It's like when your kids beg for a dog or a cat. Well, you're going to take care of it? Oh, yeah, I'll take care of it. And who takes care of it? Mom. Right? So anyway, What do you think? 507-292-1053. Maybe you've been through this before, and you could help her out. 507-292-1053.
Add a stylish look to your bathroom with help.
Today, you can see all of them on the Y105 FM app. Hi, I'm James Raby. It's Y105 FM's early morning show. A lot of slippery roads, a lot of slippery intersections, and the weather. We'll get the full forecast here in about 4 minutes, but oh my gosh, it is going to be a day. Let me tell you what. So here on the Y105 FM early morning show, the Wednesday show is always about, what would you say? Am I the jerkhead crap face for not, well, it was what she said. Actually, she said, am I the jerkhead crap face for refusing to foster a child? My husband and I are empty nesters. We got lots of spare time now. He's a doctor, and he's like, we got to foster a kid. And I'm like, no, we already raised kids. I don't want to go through that again. And I said, do you have any opinions, any thoughts? Maybe you are going through it right now. 507-292-1053. Hi, it's Y105 FM. What you got for me here? Hello.
So I am currently fostering a child, I'll say between the ages of 10 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
I've fostered a couple children with my wife in the last couple of years, and I can relate to that situation. I support her in what she wants to do. However, I feel like if she wants to do something that significantly interferes with my life, I think that might be a little bit of a friction point.
Right.
One problem with the foster system is you typically will have them indefinitely. It's, they always say you could have them for a week or you could have them for 8 years, but you're probably going to be responsible for that child until they're 18. And also, the children, especially if they're a little bit older, might be very set in their ways, either their dietary habits or their hygiene habits, or very set in their political beliefs. And it's very tough to try to encourage a young child to grow and to be successful if they are not interested in that.
Right.
And they may not care for your house or care for your belongings very well. And you also have to deal with often the foster child's parents as well, because they are legally entitled to interact with the child. And another thing is you may foster a child, but they still are custody of the state. So you're co-parenting with the state, and you're also co-parenting with the foster child's parents, which is some challenges within itself. So if you have a foster child and you want to go on a trip out of state, you have to ask the state's permission, and you have to ask the child's parents' permission. And if the child's parents are unhappy of the situation, they could just decline, and you can't go out of state on a vacation.
Would you do it again if you had it all to do over again?
We're currently fostering a child that I invest a lot of time and energy with, and I have told my wife that if this child goes back to their parents, which is unlikely, or if they're adopted, which is possible but unlikely, that we should probably pause a little bit. Mm-hmm. We have had some other foster children that unfortunately have left due to some unfortunate circumstances, and if they are, for example, I'll just say this, if they are throwing rocks through your front windows of your house, you legally cannot touch them,
right.
And you just have to call the police, and then the police have to come, and then it's kind of a mess, and it's just a little frustrating being as a professional career and having a nice house and stuff like that to deal with similar issues like that, and trying to grow and prosper yourself and with your family, and it's a large task taking a foster kid, and it's not for the lighthearted.
All right. I really appreciate you calling in and giving this perspective. That's fantastic, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Enjoy the day. Thank you.
Do you have a different perspective? I would love to hear it too. 507-292-1053. And this is all because, what would you say Wednesday? Am I the jerkhead crap face because I have raised my kids and I don't want to take in foster kids? I don't want to foster children, says the mom. Dad's like a doctor and was just the fun dad and thinks it'd be a breeze to bring in a child again. What do you think? 507-292-1053. Would love to hear what you feel about it. And coming up, this is another one of those days where Mother Nature is just laughing at us. I'll tell you why in about 2 minutes.
The music you know.
Y105 FM weather for today. Man, this forecast, let me tell you something. Rain and snow before 4. And then between 4 and 5, a chance of rain. And then snow may be mixed with rain after 5 o'clock. Oh, and patchy fog too. Otherwise, cloudy. A high should be near 34. So the warmth is fine, right? But it's going to be slushy and slippery all over the place. Tonight, snow is likely, maybe mixed with rain, becoming all snow after 7 o'clock with clouds in the low around 28. Maybe 2 inches of snow accumulating overnight. And then Thursday, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 8. Mostly cloudy with a temperature starting in the 30s and dropping down to about 26 by 5 p.m. Yeah, one of those days. However, the reward, Friday, sunny and 21. I know. And can you believe we're already talking about Friday? I know. It's that holiday week thing. Again for today, rain, snow, some sleet sounds like, and patchy fog with a high around 34. It is 31 on the Y105 FM early morning show. What does snow like? What does snow like? What does snow like? Well, snow likes walking on the sand and holding hands. And what does it sound like when the snow careens off those steel roofs here in town? You got one maybe. Well, my sister does the perfect impersonation of it. Seriously, great sound effects coming up in less than 15 minutes on Y105 FM's early morning show. Should apologize for not letting you know that the smooching lamp was lit. Wow. Backstreet Boys on the Y105 FM early morning show. Up next, we are going to be doing the 8 a.m. all music hour. That's over 105 minutes of commercial-free music. But first, you know how families have text threads. This is a thing that happens a lot. Well, we're talking lately about the weather. And if you look at the Y105 FM app and you check the traffic conditions, you'll see, well, partially snow-covered roads. Lots of them. Highways, interstate, etc. If you go up northwest a little bit, there's completely snow covered and dangerous. There's apparently in the westbound I-90 a car fire, although that could be a little bit old. It doesn't get updated right away. So you got these issues. Well, my sister Claire lives in Dallas, and she was talking about how beautiful it is. They even turned the AC on yesterday as they were taking down all the Christmas decorations. Got a little warm. She's the sister, by the way, that got the kidney transplant like a year ago almost, and she's doing much, much better now. She had a rough year, but she's like aces right now. So my sister Joan said, well, here's what the conditions are, and because I have this messed up eye from eye surgery, having a detached retina reattached, duct tape and soldering and stuff, I have the phone read the messages to me, which is why I'm not wildly active on Facebook right now, because it's hard to read the stuff. But I had Siri read the message to me, and if you just keep holding on, about 20 seconds in, you are going to know why I want you to hear this.
We are having weird weather today. A few minutes ago it rained really hard for about 30 seconds. Now it is snowing steadily. Not surprisingly, the temperature is about 31 degrees. The rain loosened the snow that used to be on our metal roof, and it sheeted off the roof in long sections, one after the other in a big series of whump 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 whump. Ernie was concerned. It sounded a bit like an earthquake on the roof.
Ernie is the dog, the Labradoodle. Fantastic dog. What did it sound like, Joan?
Whump 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 whump.
Oh, you know, I can't stop.
Whump 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 whump.
It's not really my sister reading it, but Siri is filling in.
Whump 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 whump.
It is Y105 FM's early morning show, and if you have not yet subscribed to the Y105 FM early morning show podcast, please do. That way it gets delivered right to your phone from whatever service you use. It could be iPhone, it could be an Android, it could be Spotify, whatever. Just subscribe, please, for crying out loud.
Out of Buck, it's Steve Johnson.
Morning show. I'm James Raby. Yes, slippery roads. Be careful. And as if that weren't enough, and by golly, don't you think it ought to be some more responses for the Y105 FM? What would you say Wednesday? Am I the jerkhead crap face because I don't want to foster a kid in my home? Here's the story. Parents, mom, dad, in their 40s. He's a doctor. She has a full-time job. They raised 2 kids. They're now in college. One's in law school. And she loves being an empty nester, but dad says, oh, I'd love to have another kid. Why don't we foster? And she's like, that's a lot of responsibility. I don't want that. I like having free time. I love my kids. I've raised them. I'm not doing that again. And responses to that, because the husband's saying, well, she's not very nice and not very open-hearted and stuff. And some responses that I like, tell them to adopt a puppy. Oh, wait, that'll be your responsibility as well. Scratch that. Maybe buy him a goldfish. Because, the dad says he's bored. He's a doctor, and she suggested, well, why don't you go to the pediatric wing of the hospital where you work and hang out with the kids, start a mentor program there or something. I want one at home. All right, but you're not at home to raise the kid. I'll be doing it again. All right, so another person said you need to look into some kind of Big Brother program. He can interact one-on-one with the kids, and then both of you have your needs met. Your lifestyle won't be impacted, and he can help change a child's life. Either way, you are not the jerkhead crap face, which I think is a great suggestion. There's so many mentor programs, so many kids that could use a role model, and it's the mom's like, I raised the kids. I'm not doing that again, because she married a doctor. And so he was insanely busy probably when the kids were little, right? Pre-med, oh my gosh. And just everything about that. You don't have time to be the dad. So she did all the working. And then when he has time to be a dad, it's the teen years, and he was the fun dad. And he doesn't remember any of the hard stuff because he wasn't there. He was doing other hard stuff. It's like, oh, someone said also, I think that was Gina, said, why don't you tell him, honey, I think it's a great idea, but let's wait till you retire. Because then you can really take on the responsibility properly. And I think, that might make him think, I don't want to do that. It's great. If you have a need inside you to do something great like that, awesome. But it's a big responsibility. You're taking on a lot, and you just can't do it. I want to do this. So there you go. But don't buy the puppy. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
Grab your family and friends for a fun time snow tube.
Learn how to break up with others. Hi, it's James Raby. You're listening to Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. It is time for the Raby Shot. That's Doughheads in the News. We're not judging, just noticing. And in Florida, a man and a woman got in trouble with the police. They were arrested and put away. Why? Well, because one of them called 911 and asked for help moving stuff. Well, that's not allowed, right? And the police were near the location, so they went and said, hey, don't do that. And they said, well, we just needed help moving this stuff out of the house, and then we need a ride to the airport. Not how it works, but don't do it. And then they asked to see, hey, can we see proof that you live here? Well, they didn't live there. They were robbing the place, and they asked the police to help them move the stolen merchandise? That's fantastic. It's so dough-headed. And, of course, they got arrested and all that jazz. But if you think about it for a second, no one can be that dough-headed. No one, right? So it had to be a setup. And I figure it's the guy who's no good at breaking up with a girlfriend or maybe asking for a divorce. I don't know if they're married or not. So what he did was he got everyone there. Then he called 911. Hey, we want to help move in and stuff. Knowing the police would show up, knowing they would check their IDs, and knowing that then, well, the cops are breaking this up, babe. Sorry, I gotta go to jail. We can be together. Huh? I can't hear you. Sorry, we're breaking up. I'm right in front of you. I'm sorry, it's breaking up. Yeah. Doesn't know how to break up with someone. Never has been good at it. Always went to jail. Spend a few weeks in jail, he figures, then I'll run away. And then we're broken up. No problem. Some people just need to grow up, right? It is Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
The music you know, the music you love.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio on Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.